Hi, I'm Bishop David Evans, and welcome once again to Daddy Talk. Now, ladies, I want to say from the beginning, some of you have been joining this series of messages and not knowing really what the purpose is for Daddy Talk. My job is to tell you what that man is thinking, why he reacts the way that he does. So for those of you that did not hear me say that before, it's not a one-sided thing where we're picking on any one person. I'm trying to give you the wisdom that I think fathers should give daughters as it relates to how that man reacts to the things that happen to him and around him. So when we're talking about this, it's me, if you will, having man talk with you sitting in the corner listening to what is being said. So you get a greater understanding as to why he reacts the way he reacts, why he thinks the way he thinks, just to give you a better handle on something that's very important in your life, and that's your relationships. So we've been talking in the past about some things, and I want to talk to you about a work ethic with a man. Okay. A real man's work ethic is not determined, never determined, by his continuing to work. You cannot determine whether he's happy or unhappy simply because he's going to work. Don't limit his unhappiness to his productivity. If he is serious about his assignment, and what I call his assignment, the people assigned that he is to provide for, the people he's assigned to love, the people that are assigned to love him. If he is fulfilling that assignment, don't make the mistake of thinking because he works hard, he is happy. He can be absolutely unhappy. Get up and go to work, do his part financially, work in the yard, and do all that and be sick in his heart. So what I'm saying to you, just because he's pulling his legs up to the table and eating, just because he's going out and working, sometimes doubles, don't mistake his sense of responsibility for his happiness. All right, now watch this now. Fulfilling his responsibility does not necessarily become the barometer for his happiness. He's working hard. You think, boy, he's really happy. No. He's got a good work ethic, knows he has to provide, knows he has to do what he's supposed to do. Conversely, if you have a man around you, father, brother, significant other, husband, boyfriend, and that man does not want to work, there's an issue. You fussing at him or you praying about a work ethic, you can't make him have one. Work ethic is a seed that's developed in a man, but it's not something a woman can create in a man. So if he's content to lay on the sofa with you going out of the house every day, eventually you're going to become tired of that. So no amount of fussing will create a work ethic for him. And I don't know a significant other that does not want a partner who has the will, who doesn't have the will to work. All right, let's take a look at one other thing. A loss of communication is often the first sign or first step towards an emotional exit for a man. Now, you know, men can be present and absent at the same time. So a key is if he has been communicative, talkative, and all of a sudden he goes silent, something has happened. There's a reason for that. It is the first step to an emotional, listen to what I said, emotional exit for that man. He'll be physically present, but emotionally absent. And oftentimes, It may be traced back to a conversation you all have had that you thought he was over, but he's still carrying the wound of it. The thing about men is this: the things spoken to them, though he may not react to them, are not undeposited in him. There are things said to him that he takes to heart. And oftentimes they're the same things that would wound you deeply. But the problem with human beings is that we normally afflict on people those things that would hurt us dearly, but then hope that it doesn't have the same effect on the other person that it would have on you. So we've got to be careful. If you notice this change, this loss of communication, that he starts talking only about business and bills and babies. There's something in his heart he's not revealing. There's a loss there. So what do you do? I remember counseling a couple once, and the young lady said that she wanted to be free to say whatever she wanted to say. And of course, the young man thought, well, if you want that right to speak to me and say whatever you want to say, he thought he should have the same openness and right and opportunity. But in this context, she was saying she wanted him to be accountable for everything he said to her. But she did not want to be questioned about what she was saying to him. So she would accuse him of analyzing and trying to psychoanalyze and all this when he would ask her questions about what she said. Especially if you've got a man that listens and can repeat exactly what you said. And then when he repeats it, you become defensive because he's actually listening. So you don't want to tell him, I hate you. And then he says, you just said you hated me. And then you say, I didn't say that. No. You said it. And then you say, well, I can't say what I want to say to you. Listen to me. Your freedom of speech from your heart does not eliminate his freedom to speak from his. I need you to hear me now. Oftentimes, what wounds a man are what he sees as slights, things that are insulting to him. You could kick him in the shin, he'll get over it in 5 minutes. You slight him in his heart, slight him as a person, he carries that for a while. And then watch what happens. He gets up and goes to work. He's still talking about the things that have to do with business, but there's a subtle change in communication. Things that come from his heart, he may not feel safe communicating. And then one day you wonder, why don't you talk to me anymore? And then when he says why, you minimize his feelings on that matter. When you're talking to him, you want him to validate everything you're feeling. So what's the dilemma? We often have a problem when we decide what the other person needs versus what the other person wants. He'll say you just want that, you don't need it. You'll say you don't need that, you just want it. Not knowing that what a woman needs is what she wants, and what a man wants is what he needs. All right, I hope I was able to help you today. This has been Daddy Talk. Write me, comment, ask your questions. I love how we're interacting.